नमस्कार, आज आर्ट्स में आपका स्वागत है और आपकी होस्ट गायत्री कौल. I'm very happy today that in our studios today we have a very important, a very famous and a very lovable person, none other than our Consul General Abhilasha Joshi ji. Let's welcome her to our studio and to our program first. Abhilasha ji, welcome to our studios and welcome to our program.
Namaste.
Abhilasha ji, I have taken interviews for so many people. You know, you can say from all over the world I have taken interviews, and there are certain people and some interviews are very important for me and very satisfying, and those interviews I always have cherished. And when you come to the studio, I had a same feeling.
Oh.
Abhilasha ji, before we start, I would definitely have introduced you as a Consul General of India, but I would also like to tell our audience that you are a very loving and a caring person. Our community has seen that. Ever since you have come to Vancouver, you have done so much for the community that everybody talk about that. Let me not speak about you. I would like you to speak certain things about yourself which we really don't know. Please.
Gayatri ji, first of all, thank you so much for such a lovely introduction. I'm feeling very, very honored and privileged to be in your studio amongst such a wonderful team of friends. And thank you so much for your kind words.
It's our privilege. Abhilasha ji, you are an IFS officer, right? And it's a very, very tough competitive exams what you have passed through. I'm going a little backwards. When you were a young woman, young child, you're very young now, but you know, as a young lady studying and all. So what actually made you inspire? What made you think to do this IFS? Because it's very, very tough. I know I also had thought once, but I didn't go to that side. What did you make?
See, when I was young, at that time, you know, we did not have too many options.
Professionals.
Yes, professionally. So our life was pretty streamlined. You know, you had to either go for medicine or go for engineering, or you go for a government job.
But you could have done anything though.
Yes. So I was fortunately a good student, and always at that time I was, always wanted to have a good job and to do something with my life.
Yes.
And then when I decided that I did not want to do engineering or medicine, then the next step was to do my graduation.
Right.
And then at that time when I went to Delhi University. And then at that time, I got really interested in appearing for the civil services.
Okay.
And on that, the foreign service was my first preference. And I'm very, very fortunate. I feel very honored, privileged to be able to have gotten to it and to be able to serve the country.
To get through this kind of a competitive exams, I think one has to know and learn about all the subjects, which I think so, because I've seen in my family trying to get this in my nieces done that. So anyways, how difficult it was to go through all that subjects, because it's not humanly possible, right? To do, if I'm a science student, I'll do very well in science. If I'm an art student, how will I do mathematics and other things? What is your input over that?
It is indeed, there is no two ways about it. It is indeed a very, very tough examination, very competitive, and also it is very lengthy. Now, of course, the pattern has changed, but in our time also, it's like 1.5 years of your time goes by. So from the time you apply to appear in the preliminary exam, and if you're lucky you get through that, then you go to the mains, and then finally to the interview stage. 1.5 years of your life is gone towards the preparation.
Right.
So it is indeed very, very rigorous, very tough, and you have to be constantly on the job, learning, studying, preparing yourself adequately, and across all subjects. So we used to have general studies, we used to have a personality test, and we used to have 2 major optionals. So I did psychology, so that was my
your
major
major.
option.
Yes, yeah.
Which was a big help because at least in one subject you do have a certain level of understanding.
Right.
And then there used to be another subject that you had to do. So I did anthropology, which you do on your own. So it has been quite difficult, and now the pattern has changed. But it requires a lot of dedication and a lot of motivation.
And sometimes I think when you pass through the test exams and the written exams, and if you come out with the flying colors, but then sometimes you got stuck with the interview. That's what also I've seen.
Yes.
So as you said, yes, it's very tough, very tough. And when you don't get through, it's so discouraging.
Absolutely, because if you have spent 1.5 years in one attempt, and then and it's very rare, that in the first attempt you will get the service of your choice. So many times you have to appear third time or fourth time, whatever. So many years go by in that preparation. So you really have to be very, very determined.
And I think you have that. You had and you have that determination for everything now. Once you go through these kind of a tough phase of life, you become a very strong person. Otherwise also.
Yes, over life there are many experiences, and everything adds to toughening you up.
That's true. So what was your first job outside India?
My first posting was to Lisbon, to Portugal, and it was really very, very fascinating, such a wonderful opportunity. So in the Foreign Service, the first posting is a language posting. So I had opted for Portuguese, and that was allotted to me. So it is compulsory. You have to learn the language to a certain level where you pass an exam, and after that only you get confirmed in the service. So that is part of probation.
Okay.
And it was really wonderful, first exposure to the outside world. But again, the minute you land, even in a foreign country, you're part of your embassy or your consulate.
Right.
So it becomes like, one unit, one family. So that is a big support. To any new person in the service.
So Lisbon is a beautiful country, right, where you were, and you could speak Portugal.
I learned there, yes.
So, I'm really keen on listening one sentence from you in Portugal language. Just one sentence. Say, what's your name or how are you and kind of.
Olá, minha amiga. That's hello, my dear friend.
Na minha amiga.
Minha amiga.
Na
my
minha
friend.
amiga. Wow,
Yeah.
beautiful, beautiful. A lot of Goans, I think they speak this kind of a language,
in
right?
old
It's
Goa.
yes. That's what I asked you. That's why I asked you, because I thought so. So after Lisbon, then you went to, I think, Brazil or somewhere?
Yes.
You went to
So
Brazil.
after that, I actually went back to India.
Oh, you went back.
Yes, I was in Delhi for some time. Then I went to Visakhapatnam as passport officer, and then from there again went back to Delhi. So I spent a lot of time in India.
In India also.
And after that, I went to Sao Paulo, to Brazil.
Sao Paulo.
And I've done 2 postings there. Of course, in between, I again went back to Delhi, then went back. So, it was, in all, I did about 6 years I spent in Sao Paulo, over 2 tenures.
So Brisbane is also a beautiful place and a very small community of Indian will be there, right? I don't see that it's a lot of Indian community compared to Vancouver or Canada.
Not at all.
Right?
Yeah. Very small, but a very vibrant, very dynamic community in Brazil.
Okay.
And majority of the people are in Sao Paulo. One fascinating thing is that, although it's so far from India, but our top Indian companies, whether they are in IT or pharma or engineering, agriculture, they are all having offices and businesses in Brazil. So
that was my next question actually, about the business wise, how the economy, what is the finances over there, what kind of an economy they have, and how they are, the India is related to all they have, their trading relationship with that particular country.
So with Brazil, we have very, very strong and cordial relations because we are members of IPSA and also of BRICS. And Brazil is an agricultural powerhouse, something like Canada. It is, very rich in natural resources. And they are also having a high level of urbanization, and they have a lot of, high tech. So there are many areas of cooperation, and Indian companies have done very well because all our IT majors are there, all our pharma companies are there, And agribusiness also, there has been a lot of trade in commodities and in manufactured goods. It has been one of the biggest oil suppliers for India. So we are trading in a lot of, crude oil. So it has been a very, very significant relationship between India and Brazil.
So the council office gives, provide with any kind of facilities and other things to these kind of a business over there?
Yes.
They do.
In the sense that, see, we were located in Sao Paulo, which is the commercial hub for Brazil. So all the important international events, all the major trade shows, not only in Brazil, but for the whole of Latin America, used to take place in Sao Paulo. So we would encourage all our export promotion councils to come and participate in these fairs. So it used to give them a very good platform and exposure.
Saturdays at 1:30 p.m., Alive with Aman brings you important conversations with leaders in our communities. Fridays at 8:30 p.m., join Rasta Mike for a look at African and Caribbean culture through music and community events, presented in English.
entire Latin American market.
Right.
तो जैसा अभी आपको पता है हमारे हैंडीक्राफ्ट्स, कारपेट्स, लेदर इंडस्ट्री, ये सारे
इंडिया से वहाँ
जाते हैं एंड दे आर वेरी वेरी ऑफ वेरी गुड क्वालिटी.
So ITC must be doing very
yes, the trade promotion
organizations.
And every council have their export promotion council. जैसे synthetic and rayon textile promotion council है, silk export promotion council है, फार्मा के लिए अलग है, प्लास्टिक्स के लिए अलग है. सो देयर आर मेनी
अलग
councils in India. And उनके हिसाब से जो भी relevant sectoral trade show है, तो we would invite them to come and participate. And similarly Brazilian companies
यहाँ से भी
also
जो
वो इंडिया में जैसे हमारे इंटरनेशनल ट्रेड शोज होते हैं उनमें पार्टिसिपेट करें. सो दैट वे लॉट ऑफ टू-वे इंटरेक्शन टेक्स प्लेस.
Wonderful. It's really nice to know about the other countries also. Now, from there you went to India, you said, right? So when you all go back to India, like from the councils and other countries, you go back to India. So your job, the nature of your job becomes different than what you're exactly doing here.
Right.
So you help the government Indian government to come out with some more programs and other things?
Yeah, so
as a secretary or something? What I really don't know. Please pardon my ignorance about that.
Not at all. So when I went back from Sao Paulo after my first tenure, that time I was director level in the Ministry of External Affairs.
Okay.
So I was posted that time in Indian Council for Cultural Relations. That is the cultural wing of the ministry. And it is fairly autonomous, but it is a very, very important organ of the Ministry of External Affairs.
Of course.
But the ministry is dealing with all sorts of things. You have political diplomacy, so many various bilateral, multilateral, relations with the countries and organizations.
Yes.
But the ICCR is taking care of cultural outreach. So the tagline for ICCR is taking India to the world and bringing the world to India.
Okay.
So that is what it does.
Yes.
So, and in ICCR also there are various divisions. They are looking after outgoing cultural performances, incoming cultural performances. I was particularly looking after the educational cooperation with our neighboring countries.
I see.
And that also, many people would not know, but we are a big hub of giving education, higher education, to many of the neighboring countries. So
really?
in any given year, we are giving scholarships to almost 6,000 students from other parts of the world.
Oh.
And this is in
So Indian origin student or the foreign student?
Foreign students.
Oh wow, that's amazing. Which I did not know.
Yes,
Yeah.
because here in Canada we are always seeing Indian students coming.
Right.
But that is also a reality in India that foreign students are given scholarship to pursue higher education in India, whether it's undergraduate, postgraduate, engineering, technical education. So, for instance, for Afghanistan, we have 1,000 scholarship slots. For Bangladesh, we used to have 200 scholarship slots. Similarly, for Sri Lanka, Bhutan, Nepal, Maldives, African countries, 900 scholarship slots for African countries.
Lovely.
So it is a very, very major program, and not only in the professional courses, but also for those who are interested in learning the classical Indian arts, whether it's classical music or dance or vocal instrument. So there are scholarships available to foreign students to come and pursue their interests in India.
Saturdays at 1:30 p.m., Alive with Aman brings you important conversations with leaders in our communities. Fridays at 8:30 p.m., join Rasta Mike for a look at African and Caribbean culture through music and community events, presented in English.
It's really a very, I would say that it's a lot of information that our audience will get it today, you know. A lot of people are not aware of a lot of things because I don't know why, but they are not. Okay, so after being a culture, head of India, you came to Canada.
No, then I went back to Brazil.
Oh, you went to
Consul General.
As a consul general.
As a consul general.
Congratulations.
Yes.
So,
And then from there I came
so
to Vancouver.
you have, your tenure is 3 years? Or
3 years.
3 years. So you came here.
Yes. Then
So
after
in
that,
18 you came, right?
2017, August.
Oh, so now you're already 2 years gone.
2.5 years.
Oh, no, you can stay back. So let's talk about a little bit of Canada now, since you're here.
Yes.
I would like to say that I haven't seen a women consul general here, but I think few years back there was one person had come
In Toronto.
in Toronto, not here.
I don't
No,
think in
no,
Vancouver.
no, Vancouver. You're the first one. And people have seen lots of changes in, relation between the council and the community. Lot of changes are there. Lots of program like Hindi Utsav, या नमस्ते कनाडा, या और भी जो होता है, जैसे 15 अगस्त का ले लीजिए, 26 जनवरी का ले लीजिए, महात्मा गांधी जी का प्रोग्राम को ले लीजिए, जितनी भी इम्पोर्टेंट चीज़ें इंडिया में है, डायस्पोरा वहाँ का, यहाँ पे आपने उसको किया है, उसको क्या प्रवासी भारतीय जो है वो भी आपने यहाँ पे किया अपने स्तर पर. You have done a lot here, and people have really appreciated that. Then they have liked it, and they talk about it. They look forward to have some kind of a program from consulate to community. How have you managed to do that? So many programs. It's mandatory from the Indian government that you have to do this program, or some programs you must have created your own. Because I also know that there is maybe a outline, yes. But you create your own programs and all. Let's know about that.
See, of course, the overall guidance comes from ministry.
Okay.
There are some very significant events like the 550th Prakash Parv or the 150th birth anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi or Constitution Day. So certainly there are guidelines.
Yoga days are there. आजकल yoga day बहुत important हो गया.
Exactly. So definitely there are guidelines from ministry that there are these flagship important events. They must be celebrated in a befitting manner. So certainly we are following the guidelines from ministry. But then you also have a little bit of flexibility given the uniqueness of each place. Like here we have such a large diaspora.
Right.
So sometimes we try to always find reason to connect and to engage.
Yeah.
So we try to do as much as we can.
Right.
And of course, I have a wonderful team in the consulate because none of these things can be done alone. So
It has to be a teamwork.
Exactly. So we are always working as a team, and I must say that we get immense support from the community associations. So all whether they are cultural associations or whatever is the area of interest, we are getting a lot of support, and they are also very enthusiastic because whenever we float an idea, like especially for this अंतर्राष्ट्रीय हिंदी दिवस, ये कोई set pattern नहीं था कि कैसे करना है. But then when we reached out to those associations जो हिंदी के promotion में लगे हैं, तो they were so enthusiastic and
they came together.
They came together, they came forward, and we have a program to do. So इसी तरह से काफी events हमारे with the participation of community we are able to go ahead.
हमारी community में भी अब मैंने देखा अच्छी हिंदी लोग बोल सकते हैं, अच्छी हिंदी बातें, या जैसे poets हैं, कवि हैं, लिखने वाले हैं, राइटर्स हैं, बहुत टैलेंटेड हैं, और उन लोगों को वो हिडन ही थे क्योंकि अब जो है ना उनको एक तरह से प्लेटफॉर्म मिला है कि स्टेज मिला है कि अपनी प्रतिभा को वो उजागर कर सकते हैं. सो इट्स अ वेरी गुड एक्चुअली आपके
वी ऑलवेज सी कि कितना यहाँ पर टैलेंट है. लाइक इवन फॉर योगा, सी 21 जून इंटरनेशनल योगा डे, डेफिनेटली वी हैव टू सेलिब्रेट दैट. बट देन हमने ये भी रियलाइज किया कि यहाँ पर काफ़ी सारे एक्सपर्ट्स हैं, नॉट ओनली इन द फिजिकल डेमोन्स्ट्रेशन ऑफ योगा बट जो डीप नॉलेज
ऑफ योगा
अलग अलग एरियाज में, चाहे वो योगा में है, चाहे आयुर्वेदा में है, चाहे जस्ट वेल बीइंग, वेलनेस और माइंडफुलनेस. तो इस तरह से वी सॉ देयर आर सो मेनी एक्सपर्ट्स इन डिफरेंट एस्पेक्ट्स टू होलिस्टिक लिविंग. तो देन वी ट्राई टू डू अ सेमिनार इन व्हिच वी इनवाइट ऑल दीज डिफरेंट स्पीकर्स एंड ट्राई टू गिव चांस टू मैनी पीपल, अदर पीपल ऑल्सो. तो इस तरह से इतना जो टैलेंट है तो कुछ ना कुछ बनता ही रहता है.
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल, नहीं, बहुत अच्छी बात है. और people enjoy it and they love it and they look forward to it, as I said, even I do. Now I want to know that India and Canada के बीच में the relation of the trade जो एक relationship है वो कैसा है, and what do you see there and how far you think it can go?
See, again, India and Canada share very cordial and deep-rooted historical ties, and there is a lot of potential.